1969, that was the day I first met John Dailey. We actually weren't formally introduced, we just happened to be braced up against the same bulkhead together. But as plebe year wore on, we got to know each other a little bit better. And when the academic year arrived, we got to know each other quite well. When the brigade returned in the fall, that's when we transitioned from the relative comfort of 2 plebes per room into the intimacy of 4 plebes per room. That's when the rooms of Dailey and Dick's merged with the rooms of Leland and my youth into what we called the 4016 Club. Room 4016, the 4th wing, the main deck, room 16. If the Naval Academy had had a contest for the lousiest location for a plebe year room, room 4016 would be a finalist every year. It was directly adjacent to the battalion headquarters, battalion office. Watch officers were going by 24/7, sometimes stopping in. We were a stone's throw from the main office. More watch officers, more stripes. But if there were a contest for the lousiest location for a plebe year room in the history of the Naval Academy, it would have been room 4016 in the fall of 1969. Not only did we have the battalion office next door and the main office just down the way, we were within the confines of 23rd Company, Tiger Company, sir. Our room was like other plebe rooms, 4 bunks, 4 desks, 2 big windows. But our windows didn't look out on the Chesapeake Bay or the Severn River. We didn't look out on the chapel or Tecumseh Court. We looked out on a catwalk that crisscrossed across the roof of the mess hall. It was like living in a fishbowl. And even on warm days, you couldn't open the windows because the vents to the bakery were right underneath that catwalk. And if you opened the windows, this waft of sweet, heavy air would come in, reminding you of all the great desserts and breads that the upper class were going to enjoy, and that plebes, maybe, maybe not. And for John Dailey and Ken Mayu, it was definitely not. 3 times a day, they would go down to meals at the company tables and get their heads scrambled by the first class. They would return looking like they'd just gone for a 10-mile run with a 50-pound pack on a 100-degree day, while JJ and I sauntered in from training tables unmolested, not fully appreciating what our roommates had gone through. In the fall of 1969, John experienced his first Army-Navy game, his first march on John F. Kennedy Stadium, Philadelphia, 101,000 in attendance. John loved the Army-Navy game. It's interesting to note that since John retired from the Navy hasn't lost Army. If I thought there was any correlation, I would have encouraged him to get out after 5 years. And John so loved Navy football that if he thought there was a correlation, he would have gotten out after 5 years. In January of our plebe year, we had our first opportunity at Liberty outside of Annapolis, other than Christmas and Thanksgiving. Our first opportunity to get into the big city, into Washington, D.C., a city of museums and monuments, history and pageantry. We spent the entire weekend redecorating and rearranging a room at the Sheraton Park Plaza Hotel. I'm sure there's some wonderful stories there, but it remains a blur. I vaguely remember how we got there. I have no clue as to how we got back. John was a student. He was known to extend his study hall hours past taps and lights out. He'd grab his desk chair and put it into the shower stall, close the shower curtain, and turn on the lights so he could study calculus. Honest to God, he really believed that if he worked at it, he could understand that. We made a pact at the beginning of the plebe year that if we all made it through, we would go to Mollmeister's ice cream shop during June week, and we'd each order a Wyatt Burke sundae. A Wyatt Burke sundae was served in something akin to a salad mixing bowl. It consisted of 20 scoops of ice cream, 3 full bananas, every topping from behind the counter, a mountain of whipped cream, and enough cherries to make it look like a Christmas tree. None of us made it through our WIAC or something. But we did make it through Fleet Year. And 3 years later, we graduated together. Those are snippets of my memories at the beginning of a long friendship. But what's really important here today are your memories. If anything said here today or the last few days sparks a memory, I encourage you to fan it until it's a flame and find a way to keep it burning. That's how we honor the man. That's how we honor his story. That's how we continue to support his legacy. And who was the man? Why was he here? I thought about that as my wife Sally and I were driving down from Vermont. I immediately went to the roles he played, the many hats he wore in life. He chose his roles with a sense of purpose. He pursued them diligently, and he performed them with distinction. Yet there seemed to be more. So I looked to his character for clues, some words that might capture John. Loyalty was the first that came to mind. Have you ever known a man more loyal to family and friends in his country? I know I have. And right on the heels of loyalty, be human. It was impossible to be in John's company and not be laughing out loud or smiling with him. He just made you feel good all the time. He was comforting. Even when he was pissed off, he'd make you laugh. He was steady, steadfast, diligent, dependable, determined. He was a thoughtful man, a compassionate man. And yet I still didn't feel like I had put my finger on this essence. So I stopped thinking. And that's when it became so obvious. Who was John Dailey? Why was he here among us? The answer to those questions was the same answer. John personified love and joy. He was here to share it with us and to teach us how to share it with others. He had a secret weapon that he would use on his quest to share love and joy. The John Dailey hug. A little over 10 years ago at his retirement here in Virginia Beach, I showed up at his home the evening before his retirement, about 8:30. Obviously the celebration had begun long before I got there. As I entered the house filled with friends and family, I could hear this voice in the back say, "Hey, pal." And I knew a hug was coming. 30 minutes later, it was time for Kara to go to bed. She gave me a hug and said goodnight. And then she gave a hug and said goodnight to everybody in the room. And she saved her last hug for her dad. An hour later, Catherine repeated the ritual. A hug for everyone. And the last hug for her dad. The following day at his retirement, when it was time for John to share his remarks, he stepped from behind the lectern and went to the front of the stage. He greeted his family and friends, and then he spoke to his mother. And he stepped out off the stage to where his mom was in the first row of the auditorium. He presented her with a dozen white roses. He took his dog tags off his neck and placed them around hers. He gave her a kiss and a hug. He then spoke to Kim, lovingly, affectionately, appreciatively, and presented her with a dozen red roses, a kiss, and a hug. Returning to the stage, John invited his 4 children to join him. He gave each a special gift. Each gift had a story. Kara received his Beat Army Pep Rally parka. Taylor received his nylon flight jacket. Catherine his leather flight jacket. And Chris his sword. Each child received a special gift, a special story. They received a hug, and they received a memory that they can hug for a lifetime. John Dailey graced this earth and blessed us with his presence for but one reason, and that was to share love and joy. There is no greater purpose. There is no higher calling. No legacy is more revered, and no one did it better than John Dailey. As a tribute to John, I'm going to ask that you all stand. I'm going to ask that you turn to the person next to you and give them a hug. And not one of those Hollywood diva, don't get too close stuff. Hey, pal, John Dailey. Kim, Chris, Catherine, Kara, Taylor, Bo, Kevin, and Mike, the Dailey clan. Our sincerest condolences for your irreplaceable loss. To Captain John Lawrence Dailey, Jr., United States Navy, retired. Dale's fair winds and following seas, my friend. And until we meet again, may God help you and hold you in the hollow of the sea.